Department of Education is calling on parents and guardians to get more involved in their children's education. The school governing body elections are currently underway across the country. This poll is the third largest after the national, provincial and local government elections, believe it or not. To tell us more about the progress being made right here in Gauteng is the Education MEC in the province, Panyaza Lesufi. It's so good to have you, MEC.
Always nice to be here.
Yeah, it really is such a pleasure to have you. Let's talk about these elections. So we talk about them being, gosh, as almost as big as the general elections. But are parents really aware of them? How do you educate parents about the school governing body elections?
It's both, Leanne. I think others are aware, others are not. Some people just leave their children at school and that's the end. They'll only see the children at the end of the year when they come with a report card. What is happening in their lives and in their school. Some people don't take that serious, and that's what worries me. Let me tell you, public education is the best institution to educate any nation. It's an institution that can skill our young people. It's an institution that can indeed contribute to the economic development of the country. But we'll never get the public education right if the parents are not playing a role. And we need parents that can determine whether the school is clean, whether indeed we're the best principals, and what is happening inside the classroom. Because if you don't have the best leader in terms of the school governing body, and you don't have the best leader in terms of the school principal, or leaders in terms of the teachers inside the classroom, there's no way we're going to turn around the education system, especially public education. And it's within that context that I'm pleading, even in the late hour, all our parents, please make yourself available. We need quality parents. We need parents that understand issues, especially around legal matters, finances, but ordinary parents that have the love of education, because in the ultimate end, this is the Department of Education. So we need parents that will say, we want the best education for our children, and to get the best education is to monitor it. And if you monitor it, we'll be in a position to support the school governing bodies to say, this is where your school is struggling, and this is where your school needs to be.
Okay, so you talk about it at this late time. Is it the submissions are until the end of this month?
Yeah, until the 28th of March.
28th of March.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good at the moment, is it?
It's not. We're standing at 22%, which simply means that out of 2,100 schools, we've got less than 500 schools that have already elected their school governing bodies.
Yeah.
Almost 1,600 schools are without school governing bodies now. And it's a painful thought, because we are appointing new principals. We've got a new strategy that we are punting within the schooling environment in Gauteng. So if you don't have the school governing bodies to drive that strategy, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah. So, I mean, to reiterate that, and this is just in this province.
Yeah, it's just in this province.
So just in Gauteng, there are 2,100 schools, less than 500 have a school governing body, 1,600 at this point, there is nothing.
There's nothing.
No parents have stepped forward, and nobody wants to be on the school governing. Let's get one issue out the way very quickly. There are media reports of maladministration within these governing bodies. Do you think perhaps that this is hampering the process? Do you think that this is bringing down the integrity of school governing bodies?
Well, I used to say no until I received a report from Corruption Watch. And when that report landed on my table, I was indeed trembling. I was shocked that we are losing so much money on things that we're not supposed to have. For example, Corruption Watch indicates that almost 87% of the fees that goes to schools sometimes are used not for things that are meant for. For example, me and you would like to buy a school uniform for our own children, but someone will say, only buy a school uniform from this company only. So even if there is a cheaper company that can give you the best school uniform, you're not going to benefit out of that. Schools believe that there's only one person that can deliver, for example, textbooks. You can't buy textbooks outside this particular company. And some people use school funds for wrong things, for holidays, for all other. So I'm really worried. I think you are quite correct to say this might also hamper. But there's no way you can solve the problem if you're not there. That is why you're calling for parents to say, come in, you are the only one that can assist us. And I'm committed, and there's no parent that will be in the school governing body without going through a vigorous training program. And our training program is very clear. We're not going to train you how to chair a meeting or to write meetings. We want to train you on how to make the schools to function. You know, in terms of school financial management, in terms of discipline of learners. Remember, if a learner brings drugs at school, it's the school governing body that must discipline that particular child. So we'll train parents on how to deal with those issues.
Yeah. Getting back to the corruption, what are you doing about this? How are you ensuring that going forward this corruption is going to stop? Because, I mean, this is a blatant case of corruption. It is wasting of money. We have seen over this last week, we've seen some phenomenal exposés, and I say phenomenal in the worst sense of the word. In the Sowetan newspaper, we've seen terrible reports. In fact, the Times this morning is talking about a school that's lying there empty. You've seen it. It's not right. This is not right, MEC. So what are you doing to help us? I mean, we can get involved as parents, but when our money is being misspent, we feel we don't want to get involved.
Well, fortunately, I've just authorized a deep forensic investigation in all the finances of all our schools in our country. I've given the companies until end July. The forensics is from 2012 to date. So all the books of these schools now, they've been retrieved. We are dealing with serious allegations. So I want that forensic team to conclude that investigation. But secondly, I've then authorized the Competition Commission. Competition Commission is the legal body in this country that is given the mandate to check collusion and other related matters. So I've given them the go-ahead. They've got a blanket check now. They're going out to ensure that all the investigation are done. So we are putting those mechanisms. I'm hopeful by end of July we'll be in a position to have something that will indicate how to nip this problem in the bud. Because I don't want to look for a black hat in a dark room. You know, I want to know where are the problems. That's why I'm starting with the forensic. And when they give me the report, I ask the Competition Commission to say, make the analysis, because they've got the power to subpoena people to come and give evidence. On the basis of that, I can assure you, Leanne, we'll have clean government in this province. That's what we need.
All right. So, summary, if you are interested in getting on the school governing body, you go to the school directly and you express your interest.
That's it. You must have a child, or you must be a guardian, and then say, this is what I'm going to do, and people will vote for you. It takes less than 3 minutes, actually, to vote people to be in the school governing body.
Well, there you have it. Please, let's get involved in our schools, in our children's education. You've heard from the MEC that they're going to do everything to try and get rid of the corruption in the SGBs, but it's up to us as parents to ensure the best for our children when it comes to being on these school governing bodies. MEC, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks.
And let's hope we fill those positions. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this. Stay